Welcome to Jar Your Mind. My name is Joey. In today's video, we're exploring Chapter 6 of the Tao Te Ching, the mysterious female. In this chapter, we'll look at the imagery of the valley spirit and the mysterious female, what they symbolize and how they can guide us into a life of receptivity instead of forcing. First, I'll read the text of Chapter 6. Then I'll share some insight and personal reflections on its meaning and how it applies to our daily lives. And finally, we'll move into a guided meditation and imagery experience. So let's begin. Chapter 6 of the Tao Te Ching, Stephen Mitchell, translation. The valley spirit never dies. It is called the mysterious female. The gateway of the mysterious female is called the root of heaven and earth. It is like a veil barely seen. Use it. It will never fail. This is a very short chapter, and so I'm going to read it one more time. The valley spirit never dies. It is called the mysterious female. The gateway of the mysterious female is called the root of heaven and earth. It is like a veil barely seen. Use it. It will never fail. So let's think about the imagery that this poetic chapter conveys. Think about the valley. It's low, quiet, and humble. But precisely because of that, every river and stream flows into it. The valley never resists, never clings, never demands. And in that openness, it becomes fertile and full of life. The mysterious female is the same energy, not about gender, but about yin, the nurturing, patient, receptive power of creation. Laozi calls this the root of heaven and earth, the gateway of life. Our world tells us to hustle, to push, to force outcomes. But this chapter is about discovering the strength of not forcing. True power comes when we welcome receptivity, when we listen first, when we slow down, when we trust timing instead of demanding it. You know, if you've recently seen my reality transurfing videos, I talk a lot about my recent forcing of becoming a profitable day trader, and it's been a long road. And a lot of frustration. Instead of being and then doing and then having, right? We all know that saying, be, do, have. I was doing, trying to be. Instead of just being still and being calm and being the valley, being humble and quiet and letting the river flow and not demanding, right? The valley never resists, never clings, never demands, and not having to control time. As a trader, it can take a lot of time to become profitable, and not having to force that was something that I had to really go back to the Tao and reality transurfing to remind myself to, as reality transurfing says, minimize importance. And the Tao reminds us to go back to the female, go back to the yin. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful, poetic chapter that sums up all you need to know about meditation and quieting the mind into that valley spirit and the mysterious female. And I love that, the mysterious female, because a lot of us are truth seekers, right? A lot of us are seekers. I'm a seeker, and I'm looking and looking and looking. But we have to remember to just love the mystery. Be in love with the mystery of life. And if you want a taste of the true mystery, if you want to feel into that valley spirit, then you go within, where the breath pauses. It's that hum, the M, the hum-sa, right? That's where God is. That's where creation is. Chapter 6 is inviting us to stop gripping so tightly and instead to become the valley, to open, to allow, to receive, because the mysterious female, the source, never runs dry. I want to give a little extra talk on what does receptivity actually look like for us? And how do we tap into it? Because again, this is something that I was struggling with for a while. And it's one thing to know all about the Tao and even know Neville Goddard and Joseph Murphy. And it's one thing to know what they're trying to convey to you, but it's another to really practice and integrate into your own life. Receptivity asks us to pause, which is very difficult for us to do. I've noticed that with these meditations, most people only listen to the beginning and don't actually ever do the meditation. But I encourage you to at least come back when you have time. Come back when you can be quiet and leave room for the valley. And I talking to myself too, because I have to remember to quiet my own mind. That was the key through my recent struggles with trading and changing careers and whatnot, is my mind was so overactive. And I had to get back to my heart center more and more. Life today glorifies speed, but Lao Tzu reminds us that the valley never rushes, yet it's never empty. Sometimes the most receptive act is to take a walk without your phone, or to let silence stretch a little longer than usual. Trust the universe, trust yourself, trust. I have a meditation also on trust that I'll link in the description. It's just affirmations of trust affirmations. Because when you trust that you don't have to force things, you trust the Tao, the seed will sprout when it's ready. The tide comes in when it's time. The tree doesn't force its fruit to ripen. The rain doesn't strain to fall. Be like nature. You are a part of nature. That is the flow. Get into your flow. Doing things that get you in flow. That is a form of meditation. That is a form of creativity and being in the valley with the mysterious female. When we learn to live like the valley spirit, open and welcoming, we stop exhausting ourselves trying to control everything, and we discover that life itself provides everything we need. The root never fails. The source never dries up. We go within into the deeper state of awareness where our imagination can flow. Let's do this short exercise together. Close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in and let it out gently. Feel your body begin to soften. With each exhale, let your shoulders drop, your jaw loosen, your hands relax. Notice any tension you've been carrying and just let it fade away. Bring your awareness to the rhythm of your breath. Inhale and exhale. No need to control it, just watch it flow. Receptivity begins here. Now imagine yourself in a wide, quiet valley. The valley is open and welcoming. Streams and winds move through it freely, and it never resists. You are the valley. You are open, humble, and receptive. Thoughts may drift across your mind. Let them move like clouds, passing through the sky. No clinging, no pushing away. Feel your heart open like a flower, soft and welcoming. This is receptivity, being available to life without force. Notice the relief of not having to push. There's no need to strain. The seed sprouts in its time. The tide rises in its time. Trust that your life also unfolds in its right time. Rest here as the valley spirit, the mysterious female, the root of heaven and earth. Feel the inexhaustible source within you. And as Neville says, for the next 2 minutes, we will go into the silence. Now take a slow breath in and release it. And when you are ready, you can begin to come back to the now, carrying this openness and receptivity with you into the rest of your day. And when you are ready, you can open your eyes and come back to the now. Chapter 6 shows us the quiet strength of receptivity. The mysterious female, the valley spirit, is about endless power through openness. The more we align with that root, the less we need to force, and the more we discover that the Tao never fails. Thank you for joining me today. If this chapter spoke to you, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.